Hi guys, welcome back to the series recommending my top 50 gay romance books. If you missed any of the previous episodes, I'll link the playlist down below so you can check them out. In this video, I'll be recommending my top 31 to 35. Let's start with the first one that is called Let There Be Light. I read this thinking it was going to be your typical college romance, and to be fair, if you're looking for that, I wouldn't recommend this one. It has a very lyric writing. It reads like poetry at times. In fact, I have here a quote that says, "That damn smile was a sunrise, slow and moving and brimming over warmth and color. A smile you'll stay up all night for, waiting to catch a glimpse." It's a book that is full of feelings. It's really a slumber. You're following Camden, who is the really rich boy that is a super talented pianist. His parents have been training him his whole life. He's very shy. He doesn't really have friends. He is basically alone by himself on his room, practicing every single day, until one day his roommate new friend appears and he's like, "This boy sounds like something I need to hear." This book is not really insta love. I hate insta love. You see two people and they're instantly heels over head, they will die for each other. I hate that stuff. But I really like when they meet and they instantly feel something, like a pull between two people. I felt that in real life. Like sometimes you just meet someone and you instantly want to know more about that person. It doesn't have to necessarily mean in the romantical aspect. You can have a lot of chemistry with friends too. Not in this case. Well, they started as friends, but you could see that they wanted to be more than friends. The other main character is Royal. He has a twin. There is a lot about family and his sister in this book, but it's mainly about them. It's a lot about feelings. So I would recommend, if you want something that is completely new, completely unique. Usually romance books are all writing in the same generic writing style, and sometimes you just feel like you're reading the same book over and over again. So if you feel like that, I will highly recommend this book. It's a book that I finished and it was so bad because I couldn't find another book that made me feel that way. If I had to choose one book, it would be my favorite gay romance book of all time, which is The Sea I Met Alone. I actually found this book because a friend told me, if you like it, Let There Be Light, try this one. I ended up liking this one even more. The next book I want to recommend is The Music of the Spheres. This is one of the hidden gems of this whole list. It has an average rating of 4.45 and nobody has read it. Like, it has really low amount of ratings on GoodReads. It's one of the less popular books I've ever read, but we know that sometimes there are the best ones. It's shelved as a romance, okay? It's a gay romance book, but it reads more like a love story. You're following Ryan and Adam. This is also a new adult book. Reads like young adult at times. The spice is really low. You're following these two guys. They're in the same school. I think they have to do a project or something and they become friends. Adam comes from being in foster care for a lot of time. He's adopted now, but he doesn't really get along with his adoptive parents, even though they are great. He feels like he cannot really trust them after everything, so he basically has no one. Enter Ryan. He has this really lovely family. The problem is that his mother died and they are all grieving. They are still a happy family, but you can see that someone is missing that. So Adam kind of becomes another person in this family, so it's kind of a fun family trope. This book is just following them as they become friends. Adam falls in love with Ryan. Ryan keeps telling everyone that he's straight. For some reason, he's oblivious of his own feelings. So there is going to be a bit of us in the middle of the book. Something dramatic is going to happen. A lot of people enjoy it and a lot of people, like me, will rather not have it. It was really well done. It's just that I prefer sweet books and happy books over heartbreaking ones. If you want something that is sad but is still hopeful, but really sad at times, I will highly recommend this book. It's not a perfect book, but it's one that you probably will remember, and also the writing is really good in this case too. The next book is not as sad anymore. It's a normal book. It's called Hostile by Nicole Dykes. I really like this author because I really connect with her characters. For me, feeling along with the characters is the most important part of a book. A lot of the times her books are really cliche, and that's why they're not really unforgettable for me. In this case, case, it wasn't the most original book in the universe, but I do think the plot was a bit more unique, and that's why it's my favorite by her. You are following, this case, Red, who also comes from a foster family and has just been adopted along with his two best friends who were also in foster care. You start from his point of view, and one of these best friends, she tried to kill him. He was like, I'm sorry, I don't feel the same about you. He doesn't feel any kind of attraction for anyone. So this has demisexual representation, which is also something I really enjoy in books when it's done well and not just for the sake of the slumber. Red wants to be a tattoo artist and he works with his adopted father, but once he finishes school, he wants to actually go to work to the enemy's tattoo shop. He just wants to be independent, but he feels he's going to hurt his adopted parents. He really loves them, but he feels like he needs to do this for himself. At the same time, he's also feeling very guilty because his best friend is in love with him and he only sees her as a friend, so he feels like he's hurting everyone around him. The other main character is Grayson, who is a typical super popular boy. Everyone wants to be his friend. There are a lot of crazy rumors about what he does with girls. Some people say that he's secretly dating women that is older than him. He is not dating anyone because he's gay, and he's afraid that if he tells people that he's gay, he's going to be left alone. The thing is that he sees Red and he's like, I don't care about all of that. I really want to get to know this guy. Red is really mysterious, the kind of guy he doesn't want to talk with Grayson, and Grayson just keeps trying and trying again. They end up being friends and Red discovers attraction for the first time. It's not really slow and boring in this case, but it goes on a steady pace. They have to figure it out how the relationship is going to work. Both of them have to work on their problems. I really like when romances are really balanced and you have two main characters. Both of them are going through a lot and both of them have the problems they want to solve, and they just support each other. Like, they have to be the ones overcoming those fears, but their loves makes them stronger. That was so cheesy, but you understood me. Anyway, this was Hostile by Nicole Dykes. If you want something that is light but is still going to make you feel something, highly recommend this one. The next one is kind of a novella. It's less than 200 pages, but I love it so much. I want to read something before going to sleep and I don't have a lot of time. I will just start this book and finish it in one go. It's called Exchange of Hearts. It's by N.R.Walker. If you have read anything by N.R.Walker, you know what vibe we are looking for. It's very sweet, it's very light, but at the same time you're going to care for those characters. In this case, it's a new adult book. You are following Harrison. He is the one who's going to have all the character development. He has a lot of insecurities. He wants to be a pianist, but his father wants him to be a doctor. He doesn't want to do that, but he feels he has to because he doesn't have the money to pursue his career. He's also hiding because he's gay. He used to have a thing with another classmate, but he is kind of bullying him now, and that's when Levi appears. Levi is an exchange student from London because this book is set in Australia. He has actually finished high school, but for some reason he decides to do this exchange program, so he has to study and do exams even though he actually already passed all of this. It's very obvious it's only for the premise, but I'm not the one who's going to complain. You are following these two guys. They are actually going to be sharing the same room, so they will have a lot of space to realize things and do things. The smart is very low. It's a new adult book. There is going to be some of it, but not a lot. So if you want something sweet to read as a comfort book, I will highly recommend Exchange of Hearts. The last one is finally an adult romance. This is a series because we are talking about 7 books and 2 novellas so far. It's not finished, but you have a lot of material to catch up with. The series is Valor and Doyle Investigators. The first book, actually the first novella, because you should start with the first novella, is Department Rivals. In this one, you just see how they meet. Well, they kind of knew about each other because they are both policemen. One of them, Quaid, is from Missing People Department and the other one, Aslan, is from Homicides. They will have to do this activity together because since these two departments are all the time kind of in a war with each other, their bosses decided that on their free day they are going to be doing some activities together. So there is going to be this fake person that is missing, I think, and they will have to solve the mystery together. Of course, the two main characters are paired together and they have to get along even though they are complete opposites, and well, there is a lot of sparks, and that's the novella. And then you go to the book, and in the book you have an actual mystery that they have to solve. Quaid has a very toxic boyfriend at the beginning of book 1. He's very insecure. He feels like like nobody's going to love him if he leaves his boyfriend, even though his boyfriend is cheating on him. Some people didn't like the fact that it's very unbalanced at the beginning because Quaid is going through all of this. A lot of people hate Quaid, so I just want to say, please don't hate Quaid, okay? If you hate him, if you try this and you hate him, just don't tell me. The mystery is really good. It's true that I liked the mystery more in the first books. I think the last 2 or 3 books the mystery was kind of fine, but it was just fine because it's more focused on the romance on those books. If you like romance, you probably won't mind too much. That was my last recommendation for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there was something new to add to your TBR. If you missed the previous episodes, again, you can go check them out. If you're not really into new adult, there are tons of adult romances in the other videos. If you have read any of those books, or if you want to recommend me more, it doesn't have to be a great romance book, it can be whatever. I read a lot of genres. You can let me know in the comments. Give a like and subscribe if you don't want to miss the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video.